I gotta be up.
This your channel, not mine. Intro.
Hey, this is Anto. Today we're going to do a...
Shut up. We reacted to the 10 horrible lost episodes of Creepypasta. Now, let's do a little backstory real quick, you people. What is a creepypasta?
According to Wikipedia, creepypastas are horror-related legends or images that have been copied and pasted around the internet.
Oh yeah, we have a big reveal because I'm decided to do something very large. You forgot to call the doctor.
The doctor?
Mm-hmm. So I can become Wham.
No.
Because you know when people don't accept you for you, and then you finally figure it out. Because I'm just questioning it. You feel me? I just got questions, so I was talking to my nigga. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And I bring it across my so-called bitch. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Niggas don't be respecting a nigga. Like I'm gonna be a nigga regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Dress on, dress off, nigga. I'm pulling the blickies, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I ride for the squad, you know what I'm saying? Because the little homie, he a blood, and he be pulling blickies, and he one of them, so it don't make a difference, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not being rude, I'm just not naming nothing, because I want to leave it to the reveal, because the bitch is going to go viral, you know? Because I'm in a chair, and no, I'm not doing it for views, but I just want to make sure that if that's why I'm not doing the secondary, because if I don't like it, I don't have to worry about, you know, changing apparatus. But big homie was like, if you still want to, you know, have some more toddlers, you know, keep your shit. But that's not what we're here for. But when that reveal come out, bitch, viralation, yes. Okay. Now back to the video host.
Y'all see how a bitch just gonna take over, don't you?
Yeah, that's because you niggas don't know what you're doing without a bitch. You know you need a hoe. I liven up your channel.
Yeah.
You know what it is now.
That's true, that's true.
Intimate beach. So we're gonna be scared, so you're gonna hear a lot of oh no, and yes,
and you know I don't like that shit.
Or my favorite. No, now hit that button, girl.
I'm scared to hit the button.
Word.
Sneak up on it.
Now hide.
Episode trilogy. Will it get better? Will it get worse? Only time will tell.
I ain't gonna put my glasses on too much.
Back now. Welcome back to the vault, everyone.
What's up?
The adventure continues now.
Let's get it,
Let's
girl.
begin.
No! Oh, no. What? Hey, mommy, can I be in this video too?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Dante Spears. Yes.
That's my baby. I love him to death.
Hi, Dynamus K. Dynamus K. Door girl. Door. Not the door. The actual door. Tell him what I told you. I don't need noise.
Number 10. Killer Luna. Do you remember that old Playhouse Disney show, Bear in the Big Blue House?
Okay.
Well, if you remember the show, then you probably remember Luna the Moon. Deep inside Luna...
Luna was my bitch. She was very put together now. People hush up on the set, please. Okay, remember, thank you. Remember,
Remember who?
Luna from the Big Blue House.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna find out what happened to Luna. What up, bitch? Oh, look at this tobacco, so don't ask.
I don't like where this is going. She is soulless and bloodthirsty. I was working at Walt Disney World in Florida as a janitor. At least that's better than being an intern. As I was cleaning inside a soundstage when I encountered a tape of Luna from Bear in the Big Blue House. The label said Luna 666, I mean, what else would it say? Written in red ink. I put the tape in a nearby VCR and hit play.
So when you see
The
something,
picture faded in, it said Killer Luna in big red letters. The show started out normal with the intro, but the film had a red tint and it got darker and darker and darker. After the intro, it showed a stroller with maggots and a layer of dust all over it. A round object with a white glow was in the stroller with loud crunching noises. It cut to a faded image of Luna with red foam coming out of her mouth, and there was extremely loud screaming in the background. Then it showed Luna eating a little boy. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip this. Then it cut to Luna screaming for 5 minutes, and then it faded out. The tape ejected. I vomited. So did I after reading the story. Apparently, one of the writers that used to be an animator had a history of poor mental health, because, as we all know, poor mental health means you're a psychopath crazy person, right? He used his animation skills to create the Killer Luna tape. The man then crawled into his bathtub with a gun and committed suicide by shooting himself in the temple.
Bitch, we
I quit my job in Florida and moved to New York.
You ain't never committed. Go ahead.
I have never told anybody this story, not until now.
Ain't never gonna watch that again.
Why did Luna do all of this in the first place? And how did the tape end up on a soundstage at Disney World? You'd think people would have just thrown it out after seeing it for the first time, or at the very least take it to the proper authorities. Wait, why am I attempting to insert logic into this story? Number 9, Over the Hedge 2. You know, I always wanted there to be a sequel to Over the Hedge when I was younger. I really liked that movie back in the day, and I love the suburban setting and the characters. I can feel the nostalgia setting in as we speak. Will this story be able to deliver on the arbitrary hype levels that I have single-handedly built up for myself? We shall see! So one day, I was walking around some Walmart and I eyed upon one beautiful sight. It was Over the Hedge 2, a sequel to my absolute favorite movie. I grabbed the only copy before anyone else could. The case was red and there was a tear in both of Burns' eyes, which I didn't notice until I got home. I zipped to the cashier and put it on the conveyor belt as fast as I could. The store was about to close, and it came up as $0.00. This is definitely a bootleg that ended up in the store somehow, friend. Don't be surprised if it's a little off. It's probably a snuff tape. I didn't read enough creepypastas to avoid that little trick, so I got it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Never mention the word creepypasta in your creepypasta. When I got home, I scurried to the DVD player and looked at the case. I noticed the red cut in both of Burns' eyes as he was smiling and giving 2 thumbs up. The fact that Heather was missing from the cover, and that RJ's eyes were angered. I was guessing that someone accidentally torn the cover, and that DreamWorks couldn't put Heather in for whatever reason. But I was still suspicious of RJ's eyes. This is the equivalent of going, I thought it was just a glitch. When I popped in the disc, there were no commercials, but instead a black screen with the Gygas theme playing for 2 minutes. See where the author got inspiration from. And then it went to the title screen, which nearly gave me a heart attack. Yeah, title screens are scary, man. It was the same title screen, but all the bags were torn open. The glass was cracked, all the price tags were $6.66, the bee was laying down dead with a butcher knife in its belly. A bee? In Over the Hedge? What is this, a crossover episode? The Shrek 3 trailer bag had Slender Man on it. The music was remixed in G major. The Hammy Boomerang Adventures bag had no Hammy on it and no text either, and when the truck drove by you could hear the truck's noise. Then a screeching, a girl screaming, and then a crash.
Oh, Lord.
Anyone who has never owned the Over the Hedge DVD will be very confused at what the author is describing here. I mean, I've owned it, so I know what they're talking about, but someone who hasn't seen it will have no idea what this is referring to. I chose to start the movie. Then there was the old DreamWorks opening, even though I saw no DreamWorks logo on the case.
Wow.
But I paused the movie, looked at the case, and saw a normal back. But due to the blood stain making the words, "Help me, I was too weak to stop it. Please, don't pop in the disc." How did you not notice that before? I only saw the cast is back in Say what now? I expected this to be a sick joke and someone hacked the title screen. I was wrong. As I heard the clicking of the coins and the buttons, I saw the vending machine with Heather's head in the first slot. The price tag said, "You're dead, little girl," which I hoped referred to Heather, because I wasn't a girl, and I asked nowhere near little. And it got stuck before falling, and RJ yelled, "No! That fresh meat was just..." As he banged the machine, he continued, "Sitting right there." And everything after that was normal, until he saw Vincent's cave. RJ said, "Vincent. No, bad idea, as normal." But then I heard in a demonic voice,
"I control over you. You cannot make your own choice."
RJ, crying, went up near Vincent's cave. That part when he hit the "Do not feed the bear" sign, he looked up and I just saw some red legs, and I heard RJ screaming and some biting and some evil laughter. Me, scared out of my skull, I reversed to see what killed RJ, and it was a red demon with a key. I expected it to be RJ's captor. Next was the bark scene, which was normal, but when the porcupine father gave his children the bark, the children rejected it as usual but said nothing. When Vern brought these sticks to the log, he grabbed some bark, but it wasn't bark. It was instead a hand still moving. Every time Vern took a bite, the hand stretched its fingers out. After a while, these scenes got more and more distorted. Eventually, Vern went over the hedge.
He said it! He said it!
And RJ was standing in front of Vern, which was strange because RJ got killed. RJ grabbed Vern by the neck and tied him to a rocket and blasted him off into the sky. It didn't show what happened afterwards, though. RJ entered the hedge and everyone was excited and group hugged him. But he said, "Goodbye, weaklings," and took out a chainsaw and killed all the animals, besides the porcupine children who were too short for his chainsaw. That was a sudden change of pace. Eventually, the screen was blood red, and RJ appeared saying, "Whoever was foolish enough to watch this movie will go with the other fool that watched this." That's my best
like you said, just over the edge too, and all everything is over the edge too.
I got so scared that I threw the disc out the window and buried it so it would never be seen again. I also broke the case and put my over-the-hedge items in a box for 3 weeks because I was too scared of Over the Hedge because of that movie. Why? Why would a creepy bootleg tarnish your love for the original film? Today I watched Over the Hedge, remembering that moment, which is why I'm posting this. So I guess those occurrences were just so traumatic that you repressed them from your memory until they were brought up again? Now that's what I call psychological horror, although I don't think that was what the author was going for. Speaking of the author, though, here we once again have an example of an author who wrote a story years ago, is able to recognize the faults and shortcomings in it after some reflection, in order to be self-aware and to grow as an author and person. As I always say, this kind of stuff should be encouraged and commended. Good on ya, Moonsnail. I can't wait to see what you come up with in the future. Number 8. Rugrats Lost Episode.avi. Yes, it's time to make Rugrats scary, everyone. Hi
This is
there.
the last one, yeah.
Oh, that voice crack.
We're
Hi
gonna
there.
do part 2
This is my first
later
time
today.
being here, and my friends recommended me to tell you guys what I witnessed because, well, this is very strange.
And the
A week or two
Rugrats?
ago, I was surfing on the
Oh
internet,
my goodness.
searching up some Rugrats stuff out of curiosity since it was on late at night and I had nothing better to do. I deeply searched out of boredom and found this website that was titled Rugrats Lost Episode Free Download. I immediately clicked on this out of excitement and downloaded. Don't you know that you're not supposed to click the big flashy download button on these types of sites? It didn't take long at all, and my media played suddenly popped up. It wasn't a lost episode. I recognized it in the first few minutes it began. It was the episode where the babies and Angelica were preparing for it to rain for 40 days and 40 nights. Anyway, I watched through it, and after that, the credits rolled. During the credits, I was shaking my head, thinking, well, that was a waste of time. Just like this story. After that, I was startled by a booming scream on my laptop. To my surprise, the Classic Supo logo popped up, but it was entirely different. I took a screenshot of it because it was out of the ordinary.
Damn.
The style wasn't recognized at all. It was
Scared my
slightly
baby to
terrifying.
death.
It wasn't the same animation either. It was rather choppy, though the pupils were dilating and returning back to normal quickly. It ended, but that was so incredibly weird, so I thought that I should share this to you guys, even if it sounds corny or not. That's it? That's all the author could think of? A logo looking slightly different for an episode? Ooh, I don't know about you guys, but I'm shaking in my boots. Really though, did that have to be a Rugrats creepypasta? They were barely in there. Number 7. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Game Over. I guess I'm breaking the rules here for this one story, as it's not about a TV show or movie, but a lost book. I hope that's alright. Well, I'm doing it anyways. My dad is a man-child who likes Diary of a Wimpy Kid so much, he forces me to read it with him whenever a new book comes out. Wow. After what I just experienced, I don't know if I want to read a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book ever again. I was walking down the street one day when I saw a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book I had never seen before. It was black and read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Game Over. It had a picture with Greg in tears holding a gun to his head, with a noose in the background on it. Well, that seems like overkill. It listed Jeff Kinney as the author as usual, so I just assumed it was a new release with a darker turn to it. I picked it up and took it to my dad's house. He was not home, so I went to my room. I couldn't tell at the moment, but something about it didn't seem quite right, so I opened it up and read it myself. It was typical Wimpy Kid style drawings and text allegedly by Jeff Kinney, but something was very different from those other books in the series. Greg swore heavily in this one, as opposed to the profanity-free earlier books. I don't remember every single word in the book, but I can give you a synopsis. It was mainly Greg talking about how much he hates his life, how only bad things happen to him, and his desire to commit suicide. He starts taking drugs and drinking alcohol. As this goes on, the text and drawings get cruder and more low quality, as Greg is under the influence of drugs while writing and drawing in his diary. Well, at least there's a commitment to authenticity. In the final day of his diary, in practically illegible writing and crude distorted drawings, Greg finds a gun that belongs to his brother Roderick. He calls up Rolly to come over, telling him he has a surprise for him. Rolly arrives at Greg's house excitedly. A drugged-up and crazed Greg takes Rolly up to his room and blindfolds him. Greg puts the gun in Rolly's mouth and shoots. Rolly dies immediately.
Damn.
Greg, in tears, points the gun to his own head and apparently kills himself.
And like that,
Real blood is visible over the last page Greg had used,